Good morning, quantitative analysis students. I'm Kathy Grover. I sent you a video earlier, but it was of a screen, and today I thought I would send a video of me speaking to you. I mentioned that after I received your descriptions of the types of studies, the topics that you had for your dissertation, what you had in mind, that I would send you some message and update on what we're going to do with the class. I'm hoping that you will be happy to hear this. I have revised the assignments for this course. You can check those in the Canvas shell. I will be adding some additional resources to help you with the assignments that I have for you. You will see that I've removed the problem sets. For this course, you all have completed an elementary statistics course. Not that you would feel comfortable necessarily to go back and work through problems like those that you had in your elementary statistics class at this point, because it's one of those things that not all of us do all of the time. But we're ready to transition now to applying the statistical tests to specific studies, topics, types of data that you all will be collecting for your studies. And so I wanted to personalize this a little bit more. One of the things I tell my students in statistics class is that there are just about as many different combinations of types of studies that can be done for a dissertation with many different types of data. Combinations of qualitative and quantitative data that's collected, and the research questions. They're all very individualized and personalized. And so rather than us spending time learning about more complex types of statistical analysis in this course, I would like, because it's a design and methodology course, I would like for us to spend time personalizing your methodology that you will be using in your study. From what I've gleaned, there's one student who plans only to collect qualitative data, which is fine. We also can look at that data from a descriptive statistics perspective. And so even for that student, there is a little bit of the quantitative part of this that we can take a look at. So here's what I'm planning to do. I have, like I said, revised the assignments. What you will see is the benchmark assignments that I have assigned will lead you through the components to complete the research project that is due at the end of the semester. They are the 5 pieces that you will be preparing. What I want to do then is to have each of you contact me. You can contact me via my email or my text messages to set up a time that we can Zoom, the two of us, about your study. So what that will mean is for the first benchmark assessment, which is due March 14th, you and I'm speaking to you as if I'm speaking to individuals now, we'll set up a time to Zoom early, as soon as possible, so that we can discuss your study and talk about what you need to include in that first section. And you will be writing a mini chapter for chapter 1, which would be the introduction chapter of a dissertation. Then the next section, of course, will be the literature review, which is usually chapter 2. That will be your next benchmark assignment, and I believe I have it due, March the 28th, I think. That it is due. And then you can look at those assignments, because I don't have them in front of me right now, but you can look at those to see the dates that they're due. We will want to discuss those prior to that, though, because you'll be doing a lot of this work on your own, and I do want to have that time to visit with you right after a benchmark assignment is due. I'll want to be Zooming with you about the upcoming benchmark assignment. So I'm expecting us to talk 5 times, Zoom sessions. They may be very brief. They may need to be longer. I need you to let me know when you're available so we can coordinate our time to meet at a time that is convenient for you, and that you believe will allow you ample time to accomplish that benchmark assignment. There may be a need for us to visit more often than that, and that's absolutely fine. We can Zoom, we can email, we can text, whatever it takes. My goal is for us to have you fairly comfortable with the design for your dissertation by the time that you leave this class. You will not have everything that's needed for the chapters of a dissertation. That is something you're definitely going to continue working toward, but at least you're going to be acquainted with this and have a good idea of if your plan is going to work. Dissertation requires a lot of planning, a lot of detail, and you want to spend your time ahead of writing that dissertation and preparing your IRB for approval from the university for your study. You want to work out all of the difficulties, the missteps. You want to take care of those now before you get that far along. So that's what we'll be doing. We're sort of going to take your ideas and try to flesh them out and troubleshoot any possible problems that might come along. After looking at the assignments that we had and the way that this course is set up, also I'll be honest with you, the number of students in the course, this is there are very few students in the course, so we're able to manage this type of approach to what we're doing about designing the methodology, making it more of a one-on-one. And I will be giving you some hints specific to your study and your type of data and the analysis that you want to do. I'll be giving you some hints of some data generators that are very simple to use to analyze your data and so forth. Now, I do want to speak to those of you who may not be able to access real data that would be the type of data that you want to analyze in your study. First, it's very important that you realize and keep in mind that you cannot collect or analyze any data that you are interested in using in your dissertation until you have IRB approval from the university. That will not come until later on in your studies. So as you're thinking about the data that you're going to use for this course and for the assignment, do not plan to use the actual data that you want to use in your dissertation. Because once we've messed in it now, you can't go back and then ask to use that data as new, fresh data in your dissertation. So what we would want to do is, let's say that you were wanting to look at second grade students, music class, and data on how many of the students can pass a test on, knowing the difference in the notes on the scale. Okay, so let's say that is it. And the second graders that you want to study for your dissertation are the ones in your home district. Well, you couldn't use your home district data for second graders then on music, on that type of test. You would need to maybe ask a friend, maybe you have a friend who teaches music in another district. You might say, could you give me some de-identified data about your second graders and their test scores on recognizing the notes on a scale? And then you can use that data because it's not part of your IRB or your dissertation data. It's not from that sample that you want to pull from. It's going to be measuring the same thing. It's going to be the same age group and so forth, but it's a different population and sample that you will be working with. So that's the difference in what we're going to do here. So with that being said, everybody understanding that, don't use the population and sample and data that you want to use in your dissertation for what we're going to do in this class. You can use something similar from a different population, okay? Or if you don't have any way of coming up with that kind of information, I will create a data set for you that mimics what it is that you want to do on your dissertation. And I will provide that to you, and then you can use that data as the data that you have collected. You'll notice that I mentioned something about if I have given you a data set in one of those benchmark assignment descriptions. So this is just a way for us to go through the process, manage it, like I said, see if we can find any difficulties in our thinking, our process that we have in mind for the research project, and get those out of the way. So what I would like you all to do is by tomorrow evening sometime, give me an email or a text message about your availability for us to Zoom to discuss where you need to go in your next steps. Also be looking for, in a resources section, for a template for you to write your assignments to, and I will be placing that in there later on this afternoon. Have a great day, and let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Thanks. Bye.